Welcome back to the Webby and O'Neill channel. The Premier League action returns this week, but that transfer window is still open until September the 1st. What will be Manchester United's next moves in this summer's transfer market? Get involved with your opinions and we'll discuss them straight through today's live video. First of all, let's start with some transfer news updates. But most importantly, what do you expect to be done this week, if anything?
Well, if anything, I look at United at the end of the season. They had a plan, they had a strategy, and Manchester United and Ruben Amorim went out there and they got the plan executed. They got the players in they wanted. Anything else now, I think, as Ruben Amorim said last week, it's just down to opportunities. Now, how did them opportunities happen? Well, as far as I'm concerned, and a lot of people out there is speculation on people being spoken to. We know that. But the thing is, they've got to sell. So any opportunities for any players, I believe, as many people out there do, they're out there to get, but we need to sell first. And we've not sold a player.
One of the hot topics out there is Carlos Baleba, and Fabrizio Romano is give his updates, and they have seen other updates out there saying that United have actually agreed personal terms with Baleba, which we'll get up on screen shortly. But the fee, I mean, a big sticking point. Seeing rumours around £100 million, £110 million. I mean, is this a deal that can get done in this summer transfer window?
I think it's going to be very, very difficult at this late stage. Is it an opportunity? Does he want to leave? He's been out of the Brighton team last 3 games, I think it is. But I think that's down to injury. Is it possible? It's going to be very, very hard to do. It's not a simple thing. There is talk of other clubs looking at him. But if United are in for him, they're talking. That's a good sign. So United must believe that they can get a deal done. They're not daft. They know it's going to cost a lot of money. So how did he do it? It's as simple as they've got to get money in the bank and they've got to get players shifted on. Players like Gancho, for instance, Anthony. Well, there's no sign of anyone putting the money down on the table for them yet. So we could get this saga dragged on. And maybe a surprise £30-40 million midfield player. You just don't know. It might come right out of the blue.
Yeah, by the sounds of it, though, like you say, it is positive signs, especially with these links that are coming out with Manchester United and Baleba. And as you can see up on screen, this account on Twitter, which is a decent account, to be fair, on news stories surrounding Manchester United and other teams. And it's saying that, you know, the actual terms have been agreed there, and he is looking at possibly wanting to move this summer, Baleba.
Yeah, well, you know, terms being agreed. I mean, that's just an agent's job, isn't it? Yeah. So, you know, they can go and speak to the agent. They've not spoke to the club. There's no confirmation of that. So for me, speaking to an agent, you can do that any day of the week. Doesn't mean anything. Absolutely means nothing. This is going to be a big cash deal, okay? So United have to get it. Now, have they spent all the money? Maybe. You look at what United's policy is. They've gone for goals. That was the policy. Let's get some goals into this team, and they've done it. But many fans out there, we've said it on here, midfield is wide open. It needs to be sorted. And really, should that have been the first priority? Well, if they'd go into the season starting without an addition in the midfield, then I think we might struggle in certain games. So for me, keep the talking. It's all a good sign. You just don't know. Maybe he turns around and says, I want to leave Brighton. And if he says that, that is the signal. So that's what I'm waiting for.
Craig from our members club says Baleba should have been our first signing. We need him because Bruno as an 8 just does not work. The Life of Riley says Brighton don't mess about the way they bring players through and then get them out. Credit where credit is due. And did they sign Baleba for I've seen reports of roughly €30 million back in the summer of 2023. And we've seen with players like you say, the Life of Riley, they bring him in and they sell him on for huge transfer fees.
Yeah, they're a good club at that. The spotting potential talent going forward, increased value and everything else like that. But should United have gone for a midfielder to begin with? That's the question, what was just asked there. I think they should have definitely included a midfield player, and they haven't done. This is now, can we sort of find a deal? Can we work it out? Are we relying just on player sales? For me, that's poor going into the at the end of the transfer window. We wanted all the players in before they went on the tour. Obviously, getting the striker in, Šeško, was delayed and all that. But we got him. He's there. He's in training. It's just a midfield player. Big worry. And for me, have we got enough in that midfield? I don't think so. Never did last year, and I still don't think so now.
Marcus Stevenson from our members club is just driving, so he can't chat. He's just saying hi. No problem, mate. Much appreciated joining us, but you just concentrate on that road, my mate. PD says, break the bank. We need to get rid of players and bring some money into the club to make this happen. Totally agree, mate. And it's leading me on to something that we discussed over the weekend and reports coming out about Raasmus Hojlund with AC Milan being interested. What do you make of it?
I'm not too sure about AC Milan being interested. I don't see and I don't understand the conversation what's out there about a possible loan deal. United are getting no benefit whatsoever out of that. This talk of like looking for other players to bring in with the firepower. But if you get rid of Raasmus Hojlund, you have no cover. So for me, I think the way the season's going to pan out, less games. Raasmus there, he wants to stay at United, but there's no sentiment for players now. He's a good lad. People are saying, oh, he's a good lad and all that. They recognise he puts the effort in and everything, but there's no room for sentiment anymore. We need a sale if it's going to happen. And I think the outburst from Raasmus last week was the defiance. So for me, when you look at AC Milan, the stories out there, and that's what I say they are, the stories that they're looking at possibly a potential loan deal with a buy-on clause or something like that. I say to myself, well, Raasmus doesn't want to leave. What? Am I supposed to go to the first club? What seems to be shouted out there? I don't think so. I don't see the AC Milan deal being done, to be honest with you, because I think Raasmus is going to put his foot down. He's been here 2 years of a 5-year contract, and I think he's got something to prove. And with his attitude the other day coming out, he's defiant. And I think to myself, he's not going anywhere.
I think what a lot of fans are concerned about, though, is Šeško coming in, going to be his first season in the Premier League as well, and he's not really going to have any competition, with another striker for that spot. You look at Joshua Zirkzee, is he a natural goal scorer? Jury's still out for me on him being able to do that and produce goals year on year. So I think that's what a lot of fans are worried about. Do you think United might get someone in, as a stopgap, maybe, as a loan deal, to have that competition with Šeško?
Listen, I look at it and United don't feel as though he is competition with Šeško. I think United are adamant now, and the way he's been dropped, he's not started the last 2 games, and what you want as a striker in pre-season, you want the game time and all that, you want to put the ball in the net, you want the confidence and everything, and he hasn't been picked. So it's clear for me, United have made the decision. You're out. That's the way it is. Doesn't matter what I say, what you say or anything. Having a striker in pre-season, right, and he was your main striker last year, and you do not start him when he's fully fit and raring to go, then that tells you a decision has been made. Any way it can be done, any deal or anything, whether it's a loan or anything, whether Raasmus wants it or not, United will push him out of the door. And I'm not saying they wanted to push him out the door a couple of months ago, but because they've got the firepower, they've got Šeško.
They've got Cunha and Bumo as well.
That's right. So I think because they've got that, they don't see any room for him at all. And so they've made the decision, we're getting him out of here.
Yeah, a lot of he's getting involved in the chat, especially on Raasmus Hojlund. Do you also expect Gancho to leave, possibly to Chelsea in the next few days to a week? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the chat. Patrick Shields, thanks for your super chat. He says, is anyone nervous that Amarin doesn't make it all work?
No, I'm not nervous. I'm not nervous. I think what it is, he's not going to get everything right. No manager does. We bought a lot of players last year. Before he come in, we've got players now, we've got an understanding, we've got a culture change. Even Šeško's coming in, he says he loves the feel of the place and everything. So for me, everything's changing, but you cannot get everything to gel straight away. It's impossible, okay? So this is a work in progress. So you should expect, as they say, Project 2028. That's when, Omar Barada wants us to win the league. It's going to take time. But what we have got confidence in the players what have been signed, okay? And the way United are moving in the background within the club, with the structure and everything. And also with, the players' attitude, changing it all round. Yeah. So things are changing. but that change takes time.
Just going into the chat, Phil Berry, it's my 42nd birthday today.
Happy birthday, son.
Baleba will be the right present. Happy birthday to you, my mate. Big shout out to Phil in the chat, please. And yeah, a lot of people getting involved still on Hojlund. Adamski says the only benefit of loaning Hojlund is if we get a guaranteed fee at the end, but it's just not good enough for Manchester United. Is there a case, though, for Raasmus Hojlund, the time he come into the club? You know, basically, we were at rock bottom near enough. You know, the whole mood, the feeling wasn't great. You know, the standards weren't there. And he was asked to be the number one.
Look, we can go over and over Hojlund, okay? Some aspects of his football was all right, but he was under pressure, and a lot of people, even included us, have criticised certain things he does. But the pressure, the shirt was too much for him. And you have to look at the firepower we've got. And United have looked at it and they've gone, we have got the firepower. He now is like surplus to requirements. Yeah. So let's get him out. And if they can get him out on loan, and if they can get a fee at the end of the loan, then that's fine. They'll get a little fee for the loan. They'll get him off the wage bill. That's how United are working. That's it. He is surplus to requirements in the eyes of Manchester United. Some United fans would prefer him to stay for different reasons. And a lot of United fans just want to get rid of him. Now, if you look at what Ruben Amorim does, he likes to work with a small squad. So for me, if he's got enough goal scorers in there, which he has, on paper, there's players there now what can score goals for fun. Raasmus is surplus to requirements. That's how I see it, and that's how Manchester United see it.
Yeah, a lot of you still getting involved on that now, getting involved on Amarin and coming into the new Premier League season. GMAF says simply not good enough. No shame in that at all. Move him on and get a loan fee for him, and obviously get some competition as well.
No, there's no shame in it. But the thing is, it's down to Ruben Amorim now. What does Ruben Amorim say to him this week in training? Oh, work hard and all that. You know, you keep working hard. There's a place there and all that. It's not going to be saying that to him. Not by all accounts of what's being said outside there. Or we might all just be being mugged off here. You just don't know. But Ruben Amorim, the club want him out. What's he going to do? Just pat him on the back and say, well done, you did well there today and all that. But by the way, they've come in for you, so go and have a chat. So for me, Ruben Amorim, I think he's got an understanding with Hojlund now. Well, he will have at the end of this week, because really, Šeško's training, he will start. And Raasmus, he's not even started the last 2 friendly games. And that tells you everything you need to know.
Ray Carl Brown, thanks for your super chat, my mate.
Thank you, my mate.
Good day, lads, he says. I am up for the West Ham game. I am a realist fan, and I think top 6 and a push for 5th for me is a good top 4. I think is beyond us at the moment. I think with West Ham, did you mean for the Arsenal game on the weekend, my mate?
Well, listen, you know, you talk about the top 4 with this squad as it is. It's got to gel, okay? Expectations are high from the club, the manager, from especially the fans. We're all optimistic. I'm happy with the way things have gone. The big turnaround, you know, June, July. Look at August. We're all bouncing because we can see potential where we can go. Will we get the top 4? Me, I think that's realistic. I said, but the club are looking for that. Club are definitely looking for Europe. So 5th, 6th, that's what they're looking for. Me, I just don't know. I know there's going to be hiccups. Nothing's fully rosy in the gardens of Manchester United. There is a lot of twists and turns to come.
Darren Cox says, Donnarumma isn't the best at playing out from the back. Is the idea to be playing long-term Šeško more often? The news around Donnarumma, I've seen quite a bit of it, especially over the last 48 hours. But is there a game being played there with Donnarumma, the agents and PSG, in wanting to get more money over a new contract? From what I've been told, is in the last year of his contract at PSG. So is he using Manchester United? I'm not sure. Well,
United have been used by players forever and ever. I just look at it this way, and I've always said this, okay? Manchester United are not looking to move Onana on this season. They're going to give him 1 more year, okay? Who would buy him at this moment? There is a big cloud over Onana. Now, if they wanted to get rid of Onana, then the player would not have gone on the America tour. okay? Because the player would have been left at home, right, to get rehabilitation with his injury and give him the time to go meet people who were interested in him buying him, and they haven't done that. They took him with him because they wanted to get him fit. They wanted to be part of the squad. That's how I see it, okay? For me, a player getting rid of, the big talk and all that, you wouldn't take him, especially if he was injured. He's part of the squad. He wants to meet the new players. All together, all happy. Things are changing. Onana's staying. That's how I see what the club have done, okay? Now, I'm not saying Onana's a great goalkeeper. People know my views on Onana, okay? But he's got this year to prove himself. And if he doesn't prove himself, then he's out, and quite rightly so. But that's my view on Onana, why he's here. He's been given one more year. And no one in Onana's camp is out there looking for a transfer.
I mean, if Amarin's coming when he did last November, seeing Hojlund, and he doesn't think he's good enough, he's certainly then come in and made the same opinion on Andre Onana for me. And I actually think if a club come in just to suggest a loan for Andre Onana, I think they'd snatch their hands off for it based on his performances last season. So I do agree slightly with you that the only reason he's going to be at Manchester United is because other clubs out there won't take the gamble in taking him. But fingers crossed, because I just don't think he's good enough, Andre Onana. No matter how many games you actually give him next season, I still think we'll see the same mistakes, unfortunately.
Well, we started this by saying opportunities, what's out there. If opportunities arise in the transfer market, well, people are talking about record fees and all that for the Brighton player, and then you're talking about Donnarumma, massive fee for him, a massive fee, massive wages. Well, where's that coming from? Their opportunities if we've got money in the bank. Well, as far as I'm concerned, at this moment in time, the bank's bare. So when you talk about players, okay, I'm not dismissing Donnarumma. I'm not dismissing any player out there where there's a conversation, a decent conversation about decent players. But the thing is, it has to be an opportunity, and the opportunity can only arise if there is money, and that's from sales. So I'm not dismissing Donnarumma. I think he's a really good goalkeeper.
Yeah, and you look at it as well, Man United have got 3 goalkeepers there, and not one of them really is like, you know, a great goalkeeper, world-class goalkeeper, or someone just out there who you'd look at and think, yeah, he's definitely Manchester United's number one. Everyone's got a difference of opinion on all 3 goalkeepers, but the end of it always comes to they're not really good enough, are they? Especially being in the sticks at Manchester United. It
doesn't help when you talk about goalkeepers, and Dean Henderson smashed us in the face again with a performance for Crystal Palace, and we've seen him do it for Forest, Crystal Palace. So for me, you know, Dean Henderson, whatever went on, I mean, he was stubborn, but there was problems in the background. There's a goalkeeper we could have had. I'm not saying we should have kept him or anything like that. I think once there was a fight inside the club between managers and players and all that, I think it's over. But there's a goalkeeper who's just slapped us in the face this weekend. You know, how often do we get penalties saved? My God, he done half-save penalties.
Yeah, a lot of he's getting involved now. A lot of he's with excitement as well for this Premier League season. I'm looking forward to it. I have missed it, I've got to be honest with you. But going into the chat, a lot of you's just saying afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you're joining us from around the world, to be honest. Caston says, good to see you lads after a very long time. Haven't been able to watch you because of work. Happy to see you doing good. Yeah, we're all great, mate. Just looking forward to that game now over the weekend with Arsenal. Let us know if you are out there as well.
Well, if you look at the feel-good factor, we've all got it. And I go back to June, July, you know, it wasn't there. It wasn't there like it is now, because we've all been surprised, especially with the Šeško purchasing him and how it's been done. So for me, I look at it, and when Šeško's coming here, he's given us all more of a bounce. Yeah. You know, he's talking about Šeško, the potential. He loves the Manchester United. He loves the historical, what it's all about, Manchester United. And he's here to prove, and he believes that United are going to win things and they're going to get better. And he just likes the environment. He's only been here 2 minutes, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So for me, a player walking in here and, you know, he always wanted United. So for me, everything about Manchester United, he's been attracted to, which is what we get excited about. Everything, our history and all that when we talk about United. And really, it baffles every other supporter that we finished 15th, and we're still talking in positive ways about Manchester United. They can't believe it. Yeah. They all think we're mad.
I think the slap in the face, though, for a lot of United fans, I'm talking for myself here, though, really, it was that Europa League final. That was a big slap in the face, especially the final weeks of the Premier League season. You know, whatever the results were, whether it was a draw or a loss, it was a matter of shrugging yourself off and thinking, it's that Europa League final. That's what we're all looking for, aiming for. And the way it finished, didn't get our hands on that trophy. I think it sent a lot of United fans on a downer, including myself, really.
Look, we're not on a downer.
I'm not now. I'm just talking after the...
Well, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, right, okay.
Everyone out there don't want to talk about it. They know about it. We're on and up here.
Yeah.
We've got a week to go before the Arsenal game. The energy's there.
Come on, then, give me your energy, then.
The energy's there. Everyone can feel the energy. Okay, the game, weekend, flat game. United didn't put it all in and that, but it's a friendly game, and they were just toning up. That's how it's been talked about, that game. It was disappointing as a fan watching it on the eyes and all that. But the energy's there. And
the Šeško, over the weekend, the sensitivity needs to be
No, I didn't say that, right? I just said they were just going through the motions. They were avoiding. I mean, look at it. Look, how more positive can it be? There's no injuries. There's no injuries over pre-season. So things are working well. The training's working well. Ruben Amorim told Šeško, you will see what it's all about your first day in training. And he's seen what it's all about. So the camp is buzzing with the amount of training. I mean, I look at Onana and I think to myself, my God, you look in shape, son. You look in shape. And the players have been put through the paces. And I think it was more about, let's get an exercise. Let's get the football out there against Fiorentina. Let's get through it. And then this week, we are going to prepare for that Arsenal game. Now, Ruben Amorim did state a few days ago, he already knows how he's going to play against Arsenal. Well, that threw me, that one. But hey, fair play to him. Fair play to him. He's been planning for a while for this Arsenal game. And that's what you want to hear. So all the team, all the squad know exactly what's going on.
Kevin Rees says the signings have been terrific. The only disappointment is that we still haven't sold the bomb squad. Darren Cox says, I'm excited about the goals from the new attacking three come on Manchester United. You talk about Ruben Amorim knowing possibly he's starting 11 for Arsenal. Who are the front three?
Well, we don't know who the front three is.
Let me know what your thoughts on that. Mason Mount, I thought, give a good account of himself, especially with his work rate over the weekend against Fiorentina. But we all know he's not a centre forward. Will he try that again, that starting three against Arsenal?
Listen, he might try different combinations to start the season off with based on who he's playing. So when he comes out with a comment, he already knows how he's going to play against Arsenal. You might see Mason Mount in there and just have Šeško on the bench waiting for his opportunity to come on. He's going to set up that team with Arsenal in mind. That's how he sees it. He's already prepared. And Mason Mount's had a lot of game time. Hell of a lot of game time. So he must be figuring in Raasmus, I'm talking, it's Monday, innit? Right? In Ruben Amorim's mind. He's given plenty of game time. So he must have a plan for him.
I think Mason Mount's probably been our best, or one of the best performers actually in pre-season, along with probably Lenny Yoro. Let me know what you think. Craig says 1,000 people watching, 100 likes. Just smash that like button, folks.
Get that like button done.
Helps the channel. It does indeed, my mate, and it's much appreciated if you can smash that like button. A lot of people looking forward to as well with the names we just mentioned, Cunha and Bumo, Šeško as well. But yeah,
I just look at the team and I say to myself, who's going to play on that left side of the back three against Arsenal? I looked at it the other day and I thought to myself, maybe Aiden Heaven, possibly. I'm like that with it. Is it going to be Luke Shaw? I'm not too sure. I'm happy with Lenny Yoro. I think Lenny Yoro's had an excellent time. And I think De Ligt in the middle. At this moment, Lenny Yoro and De Ligt, without a shadow of a doubt, is in there. But obviously, when Martinez comes back, for me, that's the back three.
Yeah, I think if Luke Shaw is fit, match fit, I think he'll go with Luke Shaw ahead of Heaven for this one, just with it being Arsenal, tough team. It's going to be a tough game on the weekend, but one that I'm really looking forward to. So I think he will probably get the nod from Amarin over Heaven.
Yeah, I think Luke Shaw will be in there, but I've got to talk about Luke Shaw. I think this is his last season. We know he'll be aiming for the World Cup, because that's something he likes to have an eye on. World Cup games, England games. So for me, he's fit, but they all seem fit. And how amazing is that when you look back over pre-seasons and all that, end of season, players are niggles, this happening, it carries on into pre-season, and they don't get the game time and they have a poor, they're not match fit or anything. And this is why everyone's happy. This is why everyone is looking forward to it, because they can see with their own eyes. They can see with their own eyes. No one needs to tell anybody, right, what's going on at Manchester United. There's a revolution in training. They're all being put through the paces. They're all suffering. And you know something? Can you imagine if the bomb squad were in that? Imagine how many newspapers and reporters would be saying, oh, the players don't like it. They don't think he's doing the right thing, Ruben Amorim and all that. Everyone's getting on with it. There's your difference. Hey, players whinging about training, hard training. You give them that money. Of course, they've got to do some hard training. They've got to work for it.
What do you think of Dorgu during pre-season?
Me?
Have you seen any differences? A lot of tough time for a young lad moving from Italy over here during a time of one of the toughest here at Man United. But how do you think he's settled in over pre-season? Seen anything different?
I think he's got a lot to do. I think he's got to lift his head up. Yes, he's going forward in that, but he's got to lift his head up. I actually didn't see in some of the games any difference when he got goal side beyond the defender with the ball. I thought there was a couple of times he could have crossed it and he didn't do. One instance was a couple of games ago when Hojlund was right across in the 6-yard box.
That was
Everton.
And he
didn't. Right, it was the Everton game. But the thing is, he's doing the right things. He's getting there, and there's only more to come for him. So he has to learn, he has to adapt, and he has to get his head up because supplying the centre forward all last year from all round the pitch was poor. So Dorgu, yeah, I like him. His physicality, he's got the energy, but there's still more to do. And quite rightly, he's 20 years of age. And that's not me being critical of him. He's only just started his career out. And you've got to remember, right, he's had a pre-season. When he came in January. So tough ask for that kid. But now he's got to raise the standard like everybody has. Yeah,
you just seen moments from him, though, in pre-season. Was it the Bournemouth game? That cross for Raasmus Hand, got on the score sheet himself, and you just thought, aye, there is a bit here with this lad. A lot of his, questions from fans has been that his passing hasn't been good enough, especially over the first 4 to 5 yards, his ball control. But I thought he had a really good game in that game, and it's just something that I think to myself, if he can build on that as well.
I think what he has to build on is the confidence of the games, not that he played well in the games. It's pre-season. It's not that high standard. What rate are they going at? 70, 80% at times. In a league game, it's 100% you have to go at. So, yes, confidence in what he's doing, running about, the strength and everything, but he's got to push it more, like every player has to do.
I mean, me and you have had loads of conversations on camera, off camera as well. Bringing Šeško in, all his height was his 6'4", the aerial ability that he's got. We are going to need crosses in from the left and the right as well, and it's something we've not seen a lot of, especially over the last 12 months or so.
Well, the thing is, when Šeško comes in, big fella, big fella. Apparently can have the ball at his feet and everything. There's a few things to his bow, what he's good at. So it's all a matter of bringing him in and using him in the right way. And that's going to take time. That will take time, trust me. So whatever skill he's got, whatever attributes he's going to bring to the game, it's going to take a while for the players to get used to Šeško. So for me, every player has got it to prove. And no one has done outstanding on the pre-season tour, okay? They have to do it now. I like Lenny Yoro. I think he's done well. I think Mason Mount's done well. But it's pre-season. Yeah. That's why I always say to you, the results don't matter, win or lose. It's about the players putting it in, working together. And you've got the background noise. You've got the squad. You've got them all together. That's what you want to hear when the pre-season's finished. And now they've got a week's training and smash it.
Yeah, a lot of people getting involved as well. Coming back on to Raasmus Hojlund, a few people also back in Dorgu as well, and they like what they've seen over in pre-season. But they do agree with you. You know, the time now is the Premier League, and when the pressure is on.
Yeah, I'm not slagging Dorgu.
No,
I'm not slagging Dorgu. I just know there's a lot more for him to do, and he's 20 years of age, and it is pre-season. And like I say, he has to get his head up, because there was criticism of Garnacho. Everyone out there criticising Garnacho. We're criticising Garnacho. Yeah. Selfish, getting behind, not passing the ball, not getting his head up, wanting to do it on his own. Well, for me, Raasmus Hojlund has got a point, and he's got an argument. I'm there. Whatever game time I had in that pre-season, I was still not being fed. Yeah. And we can't have players or people using that as an excuse, saying, oh, he just didn't do the right thing. Well, you've got to do the right thing. We was 15th in the league. We've got to get European football. That's why these players have been bought. That's what the club are aiming for. Okay? There is no messing about now. This is it.
T-Dog says, yeah, because there's a lot of young players with potential, just like Šeško. They need to compete with each other to get the best out of themselves. And that's what it's about, building competition for places. But having that quality there, that's the most important thing.
Right, well, I'll say this one thing. You talk about potential young players. Mainu's got no more time. No more time. Okay? We know he's a good player. We've seen it. Now, there can be excuses and everything, not in the right position, played at wrong times last year. But he's got it. He's got everything in his locker. Okay? So, he's good enough.
He has to stay in position this season.
I've said it all last year.
Yeah.
You know, Mainu's problem, he wasn't played in his right position. He was played here, there and everywhere, like a lot of other people were, okay? But he has got to do it this year. There's no more potential with Mainu. There's no more potential with Ahmad, okay? Them days are over now, right? There's no soft soaping or any excuses. Go, bang, you're at it. Let's have it.
Yeah, no, I do agree with that. Just going into the chat, Genghis Khan Jr. says, Amarin has reset the culture at the club. No big-time Charlies mincing around Carrington training with earrings in. I mean, I know you're looking at it from that side about what they're wearing and that, mate, but it's just all about the culture and resetting that about standards at the club.
I don't think it's just Ruben Amorim. I think it's the men in suits and everything. I don't think they could clamp down on it. I think they were going to do it this summer to a certain extent when they brought in Ruben Amorim, but they ended up getting rid of Erik ten Hag. Okay, bang, everything changes. Let's do it now and let's take the consequences. And they've took the consequences, and I think they understood what the consequences might be. I don't think they thought it would be as bad as it was, but they took it on the chin, okay, and they've stuck to it, cleared out. This is what we're doing. Bang, we've got Ruben Amorim. He's going to do this. This is what we're doing, and everyone's going to understand. And I think they were waiting to get rid of Erik ten Hag at the end of the season, enjoy the season, hopefully get a few wins, get a cup or something like that. That's what they were hoping for, get European football. Yeah. But it all blew up in the face. All blew up in the face. So they just started it straight away and said, right, we've got to sack Erik ten Hag. This is what we're going to do, and we're going to do it now. But here's the danger as well. And I think they accepted a certain part of how dangerous it could be for this football club. But they underestimated how bad the standards and some of these players were in the background. It's been a battle, a big battle. But not one word I've seen. Not one word in pre-season. Not one word. None of these players going to reporters or anything like that. Football now is behind closed doors, training and everything else like that. You're getting nothing coming out of there. So that side of the club, that's been restructured. Everything's been restructured where the players are in Carrington, everything. So for me, it's all about putting it out on the pitch. The potential's there, okay, for United to do well, but it will take time.
Gidup says, tougher than ever to get game time this coming season. With being out of Europe, play well in the game, and you'll play every game. That's a good point, that.
No, I don't think it's going to be if you're good enough, you're in there. And these first 3 games are vital, absolutely vital for a player going forward, because then the international break comes. So for me, the first 3 games, there is no friends here. Everyone has got to go for it. And I think you will see a hunger from these players, because I think they know that if they don't get in these first 3 games, they're going to struggle for game time. Players will not want to be dropped. Who's going to drop Bruno?
That's the thing, though. Are you expecting Amarin, though, to have a settled side, though, in the first 4, 5, 6 games
yes.
of the coming season, instead of swapping and changing, especially like that comment said, without any European football midweek?
No, he's going to get a side. He's going to get them out there.
Strongest 11 every time?
Strongest 11. And once you drop your standards, bang, you just go and have a rest and then work your way back into the team. That's how I see he's going to do it. And why wouldn't you play your strongest side in every league game?
Yeah, just like to thank you all for joining us today. Over 1,200 people watching.
Thank you.
297 likes. Let's get that like counter right.
Please.
Let's get it up to that 1,000 mark at least. It's much appreciated. Everyone joining us today, getting involved. Continue it in the comment section. And like I said, smash that like button if you're positive going into the new season. We'll be back tomorrow with another live video, so get that notification on, and we'll see you again soon. Enjoy your day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.